Hey, what's up everybody? Showtime Doctor here. So this is going to be your guide for returning players to Knight's Chronicle, what you want to do, uh, things you should know, because I kind of struggled around for the first 2 or 3 days figuring everything out, and I got some help, from the Discord, from some people on YouTube, appreciate it. So right now, they have a bunch of events going. There's like 2 or 3 login events at the same time, and the year anniversary things going on. The things you're going to want to do when you first come back, assuming you have an account that's similar to mine, where I quit about 7 months ago, came back for the collab for a couple weeks, and then quit the Fairy Tale collab. So number one, there's this quest line going on right now that's basically going to net you a free awakened unit once you're done with it. I'll get more into what an awakened unit is, but super powerful. So you're going to want to look ahead, because my first day I did the roulette before I looked at this, and I got to it and I was screwed for 12 hours. I couldn't continue doing the quest line. There's 22 days on the quest line, so you got some time to do it. Say you return within the next few days. But you're going to want to look ahead, because once you're done with all these quests, you're getting Evilmon, Rainbow Essence, Gold, Stamina, Awaken Essence, and this new, or whatever the other one was, Advent Essence, and then this new thing called Awaken Essence. Eventually, once we get down to the end, you're going to basically have enough of everything to do a free awakening, which you're going to want to use on Ashley, but I'll get more into that later. So be paying attention to that. That's all right here. Next thing you're going to want to do, because you're going to have a stamina issue, because friends are a lot harder to get in this game. By the way, Doc number Q26B6, please add me if you're coming back. I'll get you friend points, you get me. But if you remember, you can buy stamina 3 times a day, 200 stamina, so 600 total with friend points. Well, friends are a lot harder to get, because clearly, if you've been away, you got kicked from most people's friends list. But remember, you could send receive points and end up getting a lot of friend units, but you see right now, friend 1150, so you're going to be wanting to build your network. So once again, if you need some friends, check out the Discord, give me a friend request, and we'll start kind of looping and getting people's friend list built back up so we can get that extra energy, because a lot of the stuff that's out right now, guys, is energy grinding. Tons of energy you're just going to go through if you participate in everything in this game. Now, as far as other stuff going on, don't forget you can also go to PvP, do 10 PvPs per day. The first couple PvPs should be really easy for you if you're coming back, because it's going to be against a team like this. You should be able to stop that, even if you have like old units like I do. But remember, your daily mission, you get up to 200 stamina a day doing PvP, so that's definitely something you should do. Plus, you can use the tokens to buy yourself some more Awakening Essence once per week, so definitely go and do that. And so we'll get out of here. Let me show you guys what's going on with the summon. So right now there's a couple things going on. There's the Raid Up summon, Year Anniversary summon, and Loyalty summon. Now, there's also Luna, but we'll get into that later. Year Anniversary, that's basically all these quests that are going on. I'll show you guys where all the quests are in a bit, but you want to get to this 150 token thing, and you'll hopefully be able to summon some of these dumb monster units, because they are actually useful in the dungeon that's going on. Otherwise, I'm not going to use them much after that. But you get chances to summon this, and then of course there's the bonus stuff, so you get some gold, rainbow essences, etc. Now, there are also loyalty summons. For loyalty summons, you're like, well, what is that? Well, it's a chance to get some of the banner units that have been pretty recent, and also some of the dungeon units, like Tyrione here, who was borderline impossible to get unless you had a certain select of heroes and friend units. Momo, she's top tier Holy Deeps right now. As far as I know, these other units I'm not even sure, but I'm sure they're decent units. So the only way, however, to get these, though, the loyalty summons, you have to summon on the whatever the fuck, Yokai banner. You can see here as the bonus, that's where these things are. So, once again, your crystals are going to be kind of divided, because I'm going to show you some other stuff you're going to want to do with your crystals in a second. Now, Luna, for those who don't remember Luna, or not remember, we were begging for Luna for months, and they wouldn't give it to us. And then after the merge, you know, when the important people came over, the Japanese audience, and finally, oh yeah, we'll give you Luna. So, to get Luna, you basically have to clear the new dungeon, which is the Ancient Labyrinth. We will go over as well. Luna, for those who don't know, it is a way to increase the skills of your units without having clones of them. So, real quick, show you guys the quests. Right over here, event. There's some daily ones. That'll net you some of the year anniversary ones. Also, burning stamina. And if you manage to get one of the new units, building them up will get you some of the tokens as well. All the various ways to build them up. Now, this is where things are going to get kind of complicated, so follow me a bit here, guys. Okay, what to get first? Special dungeon. Just make sure you're following this according to Damien's quest thing before you run out anything that has charges, but right now there's double Evo, there's also double Essence, which is pretty cool. As for your Advent dungeons, the Yokai dungeon right now, it's discounted. You go in here, you get some of the essences you need. You might get copies of the hero, who's actually a pretty good hero. But keep in mind, in order to go in here, you kind of need to get either a friend or someone with one of these abnormal status immunity units, because otherwise you're just going to spend the entire dungeon frozen, which really sucks. So that's going on, and you should try to run both of these. If you can do the Annihilation one, more power to you. If you can't, run the hard. First clear for both of them gets you one copy of the unit instantly, no matter what. So remember that. Now, also, for those who didn't know, on the shop, they've done away with most of the 1999 costumes, and they let you purchase them now for 400 crystal. Which, if you remember, Secret Agent Morgan, Noble Ramu, the Marduk costume, there's a Verdande one that's discounted right now. Those are all go a long ways to helping build your units. So make sure you're picking those up. And then hopefully you're getting friends, because you do... This is where I'm torn, because I would rather get the costumes, but you kind of should summon on the Yokai banner if you want to have a chance at the collaboration banner, or the loyalty banner, rather. So, now, as far as other things to do, when you get your free awakening, the order of awakening that you're going to want to do, Ashley is number 1 if you're PvE. He currently breaks pretty much all PvE content. If you don't have an Ashley, Ruby is a good second one to do. Electra is going to become a god tier tank, but you do want to get a DPS first, in my opinion, so Ashley, Ruby, and then Electra second. I believe that Verdande is coming, from what the notes say. I might be wrong about that, though. But if you want an example of just how broken, the only one I have prepared right now is Ruby, but it works much the same as Purple Stars did, except these become Silver Stars, so as you get them up for these materials that are up here, you know, you're going to get basic passive rewards like you did with the Purple Stars, but once you get the full unit, you get this active bonus. Well, kind of a passive bonus. 30% chance to make the caster's turn come next when attacking. For Ruby, which anyone who knows anything about rubies know that's broken as hell for her. My friend Sheik, who has an awakened Ruby, said that she's had Ruby go 4 turns in a row. So that's just pretty dumb. 100% chance to increase caster's attack by 50% for 5 turns, stacks 2 times, so basically 100% attack buff after 2 turns. And increase multi-strike chance by 40% if skill 3 is on cooldown, so just absolutely nuts. The Ashley one's even dopier. The Electra one makes her basically the best tank in the game for most content. Marduk is the second best tank as far as you need him for the Tyrion dungeon. And I think Theo with his Awakening becomes the 3rd best. We'll go into Awakening real quick. That's under Epic Quests. So Awakening is basically, it's kind of like the concept in Knight's Chronicle, where it takes the, like a SR unit or a lower tier unit, turns them into a higher tier unit. So Lydia, once you complete hers, actually becomes the best support in the game overall. In order to do this, you got to keep going on this quest log. And the quest log, it's going to say things like clear an old dungeon, clear rune dungeon, salvage a rune, and eventually it's going to say clear training tier 1. Well, training tier, it'll basically say you need X amount of copies of the essence of the character, which you get from this top dungeon. You can only run this dungeon 3 times a day, so you should get the run in that, but just be careful that you don't run it when you need to run it for one of the quest things. Try to save the charges and make sure, pretty much like that Damien quest log that I'm saying. Once you're done with clearing all the training tiers, because that's usually the bottleneck, it's going to open up the second dungeon, which is where you get costume pieces. And eventually you're going to come down here and craft your costume. Here's the mats it takes, so I'm still gathering the pieces, and I need to get more water stuff anyways. And then eventually that's going to turn her into, you know, buffed up unit. More skills, better leaderships, active skills change. So, and then from what I hear, the second or third one you want to do is either Theo and Vlad, because both of those become really good units. Leona apparently becomes a competent unit, because before she was basically a trash unit. And this one with Loli Caster Fire Girl, I don't know, but it probably makes her better too, but that's probably the last one you should worry about. So you're going to be burning a lot of stamina doing that. You're going to be burning a lot of stamina doing the event stuff and all your daily stuff. Now, last thing I'm going to get into, the Ancient Labyrinth, which I mentioned before. This is where you come to farm all the Luna summon tokens. But the rules of the dungeon are, every time you choose one of these doors, every time you choose a door, it'll say, okay, this is the reward. You need to prepare for battle, and when you prepare for battle, it's going to have X amount of conditions. You want to do, if there's a fuel condition, you want to be able to do that whenever possible to keep your torch up, because the higher the torch is, the more active buffs you get. And if it goes below half, you actually start getting debuffs like blind, so be careful with that. And it's going to tell you, okay, you got to use 3 heroes or less, whatever. If you fail it, you lose 52 stamina, which it is a big deal, but you don't lose the characters. But when you succeed, you can never use those characters for the rest of the week in this dungeon. So basically, you got to have a big roster of characters that are able to fulfill the quest conditions, and you're trying to save your better units for later on in the dungeon in order to clear it. Now, I don't have a roster that can clear that currently, but I'm starting to work on it more now, so that's kind of a cool thing. There's also a boss rush dungeon, but I guess it's not available all the time. And, you know, you're still going to be going through, like, the farming dungeons and the time space void, boss dungeons, all that stuff, guild dungeons. So try to get yourself in a good guild, get a good friend unit thing going on, because you're going to need that in order to keep your stamina high. You see, when I came back, I had like something like 2k stamina, and I've gone through it all in 3 days, like nothing here. So anyways, and I think that's pretty much it, guys. So that should cover most of your bases for what you need to do. And just keep getting your crystals. It's your choice whether you want to summon on the yokai banner or you want to buy some of the costumes. If you're going to buy the costumes, really recommend Ramuh's costume, Morrigan's costume, Marduk's costume, Verdondi's costume, and then from there you can kind of look and see, depending on which characters you have, who you're using. Getting the Ashley costume would be good if you awaken him, the double attack Ashley costume. And, you know, just, you're going to be farming for runes, you're going to be farming for whatever the things you put into the costumes. There's plenty of stuff to do, guys, but eventually, once you get everything steamrolling, this turns into like a 30-40 minute a day game. Because, you know, you could farm stuff, it's active, or passive farming, and it's great as a, you know, a secondary, tertiary game. Anyways, guys, I hope this guide helps you out. I'm going to do one more guide for the dungeon that's out, and then I'm going to move on to Epic 7. So, I will catch you guys later on. Have yourselves a great day. Remember, friend me, damn it. Q26B6, Doc. Peace.